Good morning, students. In previous class, what we were discussed? In previous class, we discussed about Annelida. Is that right? So, characteristic features of Annelida, that and all we discussed, and classification also. Today, class, we are going to start. That is another phylum. That is Arthropoda. What is this? Arthropoda. Arthropoda. What is this? Arthropoda. So, in this phylum, approximately 9 lakhs species which are going to be present. So in this species, in this phylum, 9 lakhs species which are going to be present. 9 lakh species. See, this is the largest phylum. It is the largest. It is the largest phylum. More number of species which are going to be present in this phylum. More number of species which are going to be present. Why in this phylum more number of species which are going to present, that we are going to discuss. Okay, I had up this little uh, topic. Okay, then in this so many you can able to take different types of animals. You can able to take it cockroach. Example, if I am going to write here, it is cockroach. Is that right? Cockroach, houseflies, mosquitoes, prawn, crabs. So many you can able to write like this. Is that right? Scorpions, spiders, like that you can able to write so many you can able to. Okay, these and all which are comes under arthropoda, which are having giant appendages. That and all very important characteristic features which are going to present. Okay, then if you comes to general characteristic features of this phyla, habit and habitat. So these organisms particularly which are marine water, fresh water, marine water, fresh water. Next, which are terrestrial, which are present in air. So many. So these organisms, arthropoda organisms, which are present in marine water, which are present in fresh water, which are present in terrestrial, which are present in air. So nothing but which are fly. Those particular organisms which are going to be fly. That and all. Is that right? You can able to take it. This one house flies, cockroach. This what we call house flies. You can able to take it. Okay, mosquitoes you can able to take it. That examples you can able to take it. Okay. Next, these, if you take other general characteristic features, body symmetry. So, body symmetry of these organisms, body symmetry. These organisms which shows the bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry. What is mean by bilateral symmetry? What is mean by bilateral symmetry? Organisms when when only one plane which passing through the central axis of the body, organism divided into equal halves. That is going to be bilateral symmetry. You can able to see. Next, level of organization. Level of organization. Organ system level of organization. You can able to observe. What is that? Organ system level of organization. Organ system level of organization. Next, germ layers. These are triploblastic. These organisms which shows the triploblastic, ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm, which are going to be embryonic germ layers, which are going to be present in these germ layers, which are going to be triploblastic. Next, what is the next feature you can able to see? Segmentation. Yes, segmented. These are segmented animals. Segmentation is present. Segmented animals. Like annelids also, like in that annelida you can able to observe metameric segmentation. So here also segmentation it is going to be available. Segmentation is going to be in these organisms you can able to observe. Okay. Next, coelom. These are Schizocoelomates. Mesoderm, which is going to be splitting of mesoderm. So splitting of mesoderm we can able to observe in these regarding these arthropoda organisms. Okay, arthropoda organisms. Next one we can able to observe body form. Next one we are going to be observe body form. In these organisms, body form is going to be chitinous exoskeleton. Chitinous exoskeleton. Chitinous exoskeleton. What is mean by chitinous exoskeleton? Dorsal region of that particular organisms which are having exoskeleton. You know that exoskeleton, it is a hard part material which is giving the protection. So which is made up of chitinous, which is made up of chitin. Okay, that chitinous exoskeleton which is present on dorsal region of the body. Dorsal region of the body. What is the importance of this chitinous exoskeleton? This chitinous exoskeleton which is going to be support and protect internal organs and also evaporation of water evaporation, prevention of water evaporation, prevention of water evaporation Okay, this is the very important features. That is the reason why, because of chitinous exoskeleton, most of the species which are going to be largest, more number of phylum which are more number of species which are present in this phylum. Approximately 60 to 70% of the species which are present on earth, those are which belongs to arthropoda. What is the reason? Why those many organisms which are going to be existing? What is the reason behind that? Because of chitinous exoskeleton, supporting structure which is going to be present on dorsal region of the particular animals. So that is the which supporting and protecting internal organs and prevention of water evaporation. So that is the main reason these animals, so many animals which are going to be existing on this earth. Clear? Next, not only chitinous exoskeleton, jointed appendages. Another characteristic feature is jointed appendages. Also one of the important characteristic features. Whatever the wings part, whatever the what we call legs and wings and hind legs. So whatever these part which are going to be appendages divided into parts, segments which are going to be divided into parts. Okay, so that condition is called as jointed appendages. If you are going to be see the even antenna, even what we call four legs. So those and all which are going to be divided into one segment. So divided into segments. So like that, you can able to observe those. You can have particularly jointed appendages which are having joints. That particular leg which are having joints. Particular four legs which are hind legs which are having joints which are having. So that condition we are going to call it as jointed appendages. Okay, next one. Wait 1 minute. Okay, so these are important characteristic features. Next another digestive system. If you are going to be observed, digestive system of these organisms. Before digestive system, I am going to enter into the what we call sensory system. So these organisms are having antenna. These organisms having antenna. Next, these organisms having simple eye. Next, these organisms having statocyst. These antennas, if you are going to be observe that particular organism, anterior portion, this is the organism. So anterior portion, small appendages, anterior portion, joint, movable, stretchable, slender, not stretchable, slender structures which are going to be present. Those we are going to call it as antenna. These antennas are particularly, what is the function of this antenna? Tactile, tactile and touch, tactile and smell. So tactile means touch, olfactory. What does this mean? These antennas which are mainly responsible for that tactile, they are going to be touch the particular any sensation, they are going to be get it, then after that they are going to be smell that particular food material, they are going to be get the smell. So these are tactile and olfactory in function. Next, simple eyes. These are having eyes, simple eyes, ocelli, ocelli, ocelli. These are the simple eyes, ocelli. Of course, compound eyes also, which are going to be combine the units and forms the compound eyes. Next, statocyst. It is the balancing organ. What is this? Statocyst. It is the balancing organ. Maintenance of body posture. So that suppose if you take in our inner ear which are having vestibular apparatus. This vestibular apparatus which is responsible for that balancing. So like that here also in animals, in these animals which are having statocyst, which is balancing organ, which is mainly responsible for that body, maintenance of body balancing, okay, which is involved in balancing of the body. So this is about simply sensory structures. Next, if you are going to be observe these organisms, respiratory structures, we are going to observe respiratory structures. Respiratory structures. Respiratory structures. In these organisms, respiratory structures are gills. Next, another structures are book gills. Next, book lungs. Next, tracheal system. Trachea. Okay. So first, these gills, you can able to observe gills which are present in example. You can able to see gills which are going to be present in examples. Prawns. Next, crabs. So example. Next, book gills example, you can able to take it. Limulus. Next, book lungs, spiders, scorpion. Next, if you take tracheal system, you are going to be observing cockroach, houseflies, mosquitoes. Okay, so respiratory system. These respiratory system of these particular organisms, arthropoda animals, which are having gills, which are responsible for that respiration. Prawns and crabs example. Next, book gills. What is book gills? Nothing but here it is lamellas which are going to present whatever the respiratory system. So in this particularly, which are having lamella, one page like structures, one by one. So that's what it is, looks like book pages. So that's what it is going to be called as book gills. Okay, example limulus. Next, book lungs, spider and scorpion. In these organisms, book lungs which are going to be present. Next, tracheal system. So this tracheal system you can able to observe in cockroach and mosquitoes in these organisms. So many organisms, not only these, so many organisms which are going to be present in this tracheal system. In this lateral side of the body of this particular organism, lateral side of the organism, which are having small pores. Those pores we are going to call it as spiracles. What we are going to call it as spiracles? Openings, simply openings. Spiracles are openings through which air which is going to be enter into the tracheal system. So this tracheal system which is going to be entirely connected to the inner parts of the body, and whatever the air which is going to be enter into the trachea, so that will enter into that whatever the blood, so thereby which is going to be blood which will move to the entire part of our body, their body, and thereby respiration takes place. So simply, so a tracheal system, it is going to be present, it is located on the lateral side of that particular body with the spiracles, opening parts, with that air which is going to be enter into the spiracles and which leads to the trachea. So tracheas which are going to be responsible for the respiration. Okay, so like that these organisms which are going to be having different types of respiratory structures. Clear? Next, so just go through, have a look once again. So approximately 9 lakh species which are going to present, 60 to 70% of the species which are going to be present in these arthropoda. Okay, next, here it is, These are marine, in each marine water, marine animals are there, freshwater animals are there, terrestrial animals are there, air animals which are going to present. Example, if you take cockroach, houseflies, mosquitoes, frogs, crabs, so many spiders, scorpions. So these and all which you are able to take it. Body symmetry is going to be bilateral symmetry. Next, in this level of organization is going to be organ system level of organization. Segmentation is going to be segmental animals. Next, here it is triploblastic germ layers. Coelom is going to be seizocoelomates. Seizocoelomates. Anyhow, it is a true coelom which is going to be present. Next, body form chitinous exoskeleton. So this chitinous, because of chitinous exoskeleton, these organisms which are going to be exist on this earth. So many organisms which are existing on this earth because of supporting and protecting internal organs from various things. Next, protection, prevention of water loss. Prevention of water loss. That particular hard part, it is going to be preventing the water loss due to sunlight, that and all. So that's what they are going to be most of the number which are going to be existing on this earth. Next, jointed appendages is the one more very important characteristic features. Not only this one, if you take that particular body, entire body is going to be divided into head, thorax, thorax and abdomen, head, thorax and abdomen. These organisms body which is going to be divided into three parts, that is head part, anterior head part, medial thorax part, posterior abdomen. Anterior head part, medial thorax part, posterior abdomen. Like that, these organisms body which is going to be differentiated. Clear? Next, sensory system. So in this sensory system which is going to be present, antenna, simple eyes, statocyst. Sensory system in this first antenna, which are joint, slender, movable and elongated structures which are responsible for the tactile and smell, olfactory, touch as well as the smell receptors, both which are going to be identifying. Next, simple eyes which are ocelli which are present, compound eyes also which are going to be present. Next, statocyst, balancing organ, respiratory system which consists of structures, different types of structures, respiratory organs, gills, book gills, book lungs, trachea. So gills are example prawns and crabs. Book gills are examples limulus. Next, book lungs are spiders, scorpion. Tracheal system which is going to be present in cockroach, mosquitoes, which are whatever the air which is going to be entered on lateral side of the openings, those called spire gills. Those are called spire gills. Thereby air which enter into the tracheal system. This is about simple things. Next, we are going to be enter into the systems, digestive system, circulatory system, that and all how it is going to be present. So people have to go through now day to day these particular what we call phylums are going to be complete. You must go through the important structure in each and every phylum. Students, if you are not going to be thorough with that, you are going to be simply forget the concept. You are going to be forget these are the simply have to remember, no option in that. Wherever the scientific terminology, if it is come across, you just go through and ask during interaction time. Okay, next, digestive system, circulatory system, and we are going to see digestive system and circulatory system. Digestive system of arthropods. Digestive system. Okay, so in these organisms, which is going to be digestive system is going to be complete. Digestive system is going to be complete. Digestive system complete. Okay, what is mean by complete? Both mouth and anus which are going to be present. Okay, both mouth and anus which are going to be present. Next, circulatory system. Open circulatory system which is going to be present. Open circulatory. What is mean by open circulatory system? In this open circulatory system is nothing but, see, blood, whatever the blood which is going to be passing through the entire organisms which bath that particular organs and it will come back. So like that. So in this type of system there is blood vessels that are absent. If you are going to take human beings, blood vessels, blood capillaries, arteries, veins which are going to present. First type of things which are absent in this. So blood which is going to be passing and touching that particular body organs and thereby it is come back to that particular heart. So such type of systems, simply open type circulatory system. Open type circulatory system you are going to be observed, and sinuses and lacunae, that open type we can able to observe in these organisms. Okay, circulatory system. Next, if you come to the excretory system. In these organisms, excretory system, Malpighian tubules, Malpighian, Malpighian, Malpighian tubules, antennary glands, coaxial glands, grain glands. So like that, so many you can able to observe. So different types of, anyhow, these are which are excretory structures which are attached to the alimentary canal. At last portion, waste materials which are going to be entered. So anus, these are going to be releasing the waste materials. Okay. So insects, uric acid is the waste material. Generally, you are going to be observed. Okay. Next, reproductive system is going to be, if you are going to be reproductive system of these organisms. Reproductive system. These organisms are dioecious, means unisexual, males having male reproductive system, females having female reproductive system. Internal fertilization, you can able to observe. Internal fertilization we are going to be observed. Okay. Next, so in these organisms, development, direct development as well as the indirect development, you can able to observe. Direct and indirect development you are going to be observed. And digestion is going to be, here it is, I forgot, extracellular digestion, complete mouth and digestive system, but it is a digestion is going to be extracellular digestive system, extracellular digestion. So this is the some of the system regarding things you can able to observe. Okay. So this is about arthropoda. Next, this is about arthropoda. Some of the another important characteristic features regarding this arthropoda we are going to go through. Okay. So in these arthropoda, insect groups which are going to be differentiated based on their metamorphosis. Insect groups which are going to be categorized. So in that, first one is going to be insects with no metamorphosis. Insects with no metamorphosis. Here it is, insects which are going to be categorized on the basis of metamorphosis. What is mean by metamorphosis? In lower classes we are going to study, suppose if you are going to be take a caterpillar, so Bombyx mori, in that first eggs, then after that which is going to be converted into nymph or young stage, then after that converted into adult stage. So like that, which are going to be in meanwhile larval forms also you can able to observe. So this from one form to another form, body is going to be changing, transformation, that process which we are going to call it as metamorphosis. So based on that particular metamorphosis, these organisms which are going to be categorized. So first category is going to be insects with no metamorphosis. Example, you can able to take it what we call silverfish. There is no any metamorphosis. Directly these organisms which are going to be gives rise. Next, insects with these we are going to call it as ametabolous development. What is this? Ametabolous development. What is this? Insects with no metamorphosis, which are comes under ametabolous development. Okay, insects with without metamorphosis. Next, insects with gradual metamorphosis. Gradual metamorphosis. Insects with gradual metamorphosis. What is this nonsense today? Sorry. Insects with gradual metamorphosis. Here it is. You can able to example parametabolous. Parametabolous. Parametabolous development. Means here it is metamorphosis is there, it is not that much, but anyhow with gradual slowly metamorphosis is there. Egg, nymph, next imago, then adult, like that metamorphosis you can able to observe. Okay, so in this example cockroach, grasshopper. So this is the previous question. Cockroach is the what type of metamorphosis you are going to be observed. This is the previous NEET question. You just go through it. Okay. Previous some medical AIPMT exams they asked. So this is the parametabolous. Insects with gradual metamorphosis. Cockroach is the parametabolous development you can able to observe. Next, insects with complete insects with complete metamorphosis. Insects with complete metamorphosis. So in this example you can able to, so complete metamorphosis means here it is holometabolous development. Holometabolous. Okay, here it is example you can able to take it. Butterflies, beetles, houseflies, mosquitoes. So in these insects with complete metamorphosis you can able to observe in butterflies, beetles, houseflies, mosquitoes. So if you take larva of butterflies, caterpillar. What is that larva of butterflies? Caterpillar larva. Next, beetles larva is going to be grub. Next, houseflies larva is going to be maggot. Very important things. Next, mosquitoes larva is going to be wriggler. Mosquitoes larval form is going to be wriggler. So you should remember these are very important things. Next, insects with complete metamorphosis, insects hyper metamorphosis, insects with more metamorphosis, that is Litta, hyper metamorphosis. You can able to take it one more fourth. Hyper metabolous. Development. Example Litta, Lytta. So these are the on the basis of metamorphosis organisms which are going to be categorized into insects with no metamorphosis, without metamorphosis. Example silverfish. Insects with gradual metamorphosis, parametabolous development, cockroach and grasshopper. Next, insects with complete metamorphosis, holometabolous development. You can able to see butterflies, beetles, houseflies, mosquitoes. Next, hypermetabolous, example Litta. So you just go through it. It's a very important thing. Okay. Next, some of the mouth parts you can able to see in these organisms, arthropoda. Some of the mouth parts. If you go through some of the mouth parts, so in this biting type, next chewing type, okay, lapping type, next sponging type, next siphoning type. So various types, biting type, chewing type, lapping type, siphoning type, sponging type, that and all different types of you can able to observe. Okay, next example of some of the economically important arthropods. Example of economical arthropods: honeybee, apis. You are going to get it. honey as well as the wax. Honey as well as the wax. Okay, like that you can able to get it. Next, Bombex mori, silk moth, sarees you are going to be get it from these, shawls, garments. Next, lax zipper, you are going to get lax, wax, and can able to prepare the bangles with this material. These are the economically important. Next, some of the example, if you take some of the organisms which are going to be act as vectors. Vectors. If you take vectors, example, okay, Anopheles mosquito. Anopheles mosquito, it is going to be vector for malaria, malarial disease, which is caused by Plasmodium malariae. Okay, Anopheles mosquito. Next, Culex mosquito. Culex mosquito, it is the vector causing the filariasis. Filariasis by the Wuchereria baumgartni. That is the Wuchereria baumgartni. It is going to be caused the what? Filariasis or elephantiasis. In lower classes you studied about this. Next, Aedes aegypti mosquito. Aedes aegypti mosquito, which is going to be caused the what can we call chikungunya and dengue. Chikungunya and dengue. Okay, so like this, different types of vectors which are going to present. One more vector you can able to take it. Next, Xenophila, Xenopsilla, are also known as rat flea. Okay, which spreads plague, which is going to be caused by the bacteria Yersinia pestis. Okay, so these are going to be Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium falciparum, filariasis, which is caused by Wuchereria baumgartni. Next, chikungunya and dengue caused by chikungunya dengue viruses. This plague which is going to be caused by what we call Yersinia pestis bacteria. Next, phlebotomus, which is going to be spreading the Kala jar. Okay, so these are going to be caused by Leishmania donovani. That and all different types of these vectors going to be cause different types of diseases. Okay, so these are the vectors. So with this arthropoda general characteristic features and important characteristic features completed. In next class we are going to discuss about classification of arthropoda. Okay, thank you.